that to my list of books I gotta get, but then I have loads more as well. So yeah, I had to add more 4 books because I realised that when I have a series together, like a trilogy or a duology, they go to one book and one video. So yeah, so I had to add a few more books. So let's do this one. So the first book we're going to read is the We Are the Fire by Sam Taylor. So this is the only book I've heard from this person, and I'm intrigued because it's really cool as well. And look at the cover. So I'm going to do that. So this is when you rebel with a flame, you die by flame. In the cold, treacherous land of Vesmel, children are stolen from their families by a cruel emperor and forced to undergo a horrific transformation procedure, and made to serve in the army as magical fire-wielding soldiers. Pran and Okesana, both taken from their homeland at a young age, only have to have each other to hold on to in their heartless place. Pran dreams of one day rebelling against their oppressors and destroying the empire. Okesana only dreams of returning home and creating a peaceful life for them both. When they discover the Emperor has new plans for their kind, more terrible than ever, Pran and Okesana fail to escape his tyranny once and for all, but their methods or deals differ just dramatically out. They soon driving a wedge between them. Worse still, they soon find out that the only way to defeat the monsters who subjugate them is to become monsters themselves. So I was really intrigued by that book as well, and I'm really into it. Right. Okay. So the next book is actually the Into the Heartless Woods by Joanna Ruth Meyer. So I want to get this book because this was one of the books that I was intrigued by, but I don't think all the other books that she had, I wasn't like, not too sure on. But this was definitely nice. It says, do you fear the dark, or only the monster who lurks there? It's a nice green background, it's something different, and I love it. So this is here. The forest is a dangerous place when a siren song lures men and women into their deaths. So simple as that. Deep in the woods lives a witch queen and her 8 tree siren daughters. For centuries they have harvested souls to feed the heartless tree, using its power to grow their ever-reaching kingdom of ash, birch and oak. Owen Madrick lives at the end of the forest, mapping the stars for the king of his father's observatory. For years he has resisted vengeance over the garden wall until one day he must enter the woods to find his missing sister. But one of the witch's tree's siren daughters, Siren, decides to save his life instead of ending it. Now, no matter how hard he tries, he cannot stop thinking about her. The birch brighter of her skin and the way the violet blooms in her hair. Every night he goes into the woods to meet her, and their love for each other grows. But when the constellation shifts, the stars foretell an inevitable war between the witch queen and the king. When Siren compels the fight for her mother or is forced to join the king's army, they plunge the heart of conflict, and seemingly no one can win, and that might destroy both of their kingdoms forever. So I love it. It's like a story between two people that doesn't want to win. Almost like Romeo and Juliet, but sirens and kings, like humans, you know? So interesting. Then next is going to be Playing Cupid, a Beacon box exclusive. So this was their February box, like exclusive edition one, which obviously came in late, but it's going to be like a simple day read. It's got these silvery red sprayed edges, and it is by Essie Albion, and I'm intrigued. So it literally says, for the past 5 years, 17-year-old Megan Cooper has built a wall around her heart with a little room to experience true feelings. However, her entire world shifts the moment she hits Cupid with her car driving home from finals. With his shooting arm significantly injured, she has no choice but to take his place. Now as Megan races to find Cupid's final 3 love matches in order to meet his quota, by the start of the new year, she comes face to face with the very emotions she's been pushing away for so long. Caught between what her head is saying and what her heart longs for, Megan must face old wounds, find forgiveness, and track down the perfect match for the one boy she can't stand. I am intrigued by this. So, a girl playing Cupid. It's not like a small book, but I'm going to be intrigued to see how this book turned out to be. Okay, so the next book is actually Muse by Brittany Calvero. So this was a Beacon box February books, I believe. February book. I think my mouth. Ew. So this is, and obviously you see this. I'm finally getting around to it. So it seems I'm going to be reading a lot of books this year. Yay. So the war is brewing in the first American kingdom, but Claire Eversman has a bigger problem. With her father Jeremiah prepares to reveal the mighty weapon he created to showcase the strength of the Provence St. Cloud at the World's Fair. Claire is a craftier plan to escape. Jeremy is a sought-after inventor, but he believes his genuine is a gift granted to him by his daughter's torch. He's kept Claire under his control for years. As St. Cloud prepares for war, Claire plans to claim her life for herself. Even though her best friend Beatrix wants her to stay... Sorry, dog barking. Beatrix wants her to stay and help with the growing resistance by moving that aims to see a woman on the throne at any cost. When her father weapons to fail to fire on the fair's opening day, Claire is taken captive by Governor Remy Duchamp as St. Cloud's young, untried ruler. Remy believes that Claire's touched by so grace he's never had, and with his governing power weakening and many politic rivals planning his demise, she might be his only and best ally. But the best thing that Claire has ever wanted is to be someone else's muse. Still, affection can change as quickly as the winds of war, and Claire has a choice to make. Will she quietly remake her world and from the shadows, or bring it down in flames? So this delivers the first book. This is a duology, so I have not seen a second book. And I realised, hang on, 1 second, 1 minute. Okay, yes, the second book hasn't been announced. That says there was the first book in Japanese duology between revolution, love, and friendship in the reimagined America. So I'm not sure what the first book is or anything, because it's not in a series, it's just a book on the next one, so I'm intrigued. So we'll find out. Okay, so next we have is Crown of Bones by A.K. Weisler. So he does have a second book coming out, which comes out next year, so I'm able to read this one. Yes, thank God for that. So I'm intrigued. It says, raise your fandom. I love the cover as well. You can see it like it's like a lion, but also a person's head. So it says on here, in the world of the brink of the next great die, no amount of training can prepare us for what is up to come. A young hare will raise the most powerful phantom in all of Horizons. A dangerous high servant will do anything to control the 9 realms. A mysterious and deadly mass race will steal children into the sea. And a handsome guide will fire too many secrets and will make me fall in love. My name is Ash, and a lowly scribe meant to observe and record, and yet I think I'm destined to despise us all. Hell yeah. I literally cannot wait to read this book. It came out this year, and it's one of the releases, so yay. So, next up we have Heart of Thorns by Brie Barton. So it says, trust your heart even if it kills you. So this is the first book of the series. It's got 2 books as well. It has red sprayed edges, and yes, it's a bit torn up because I got it from eBay. And when I got it, I did not know the book is signed, and it was a Fairy Loot edition book as well, so when they did it. So I was like, oh, okay, I got a book. Which is from Fairy Loot, which I didn't get Fairy Loot. This is like one of the 2018 books, I think. So anyway, it says, Maya Rose wants only one thing, revenge against the Gouache who killed her mother. In a world where only women can possess magic and every woman is suspected of having it, the half-girl, half-god Groucho is feared and revealed and hunted. After training under her father and his infamous hunters, Maya is determined to scour the 4 kingdoms and enact the hunters' creed. A heart for heart, life for life. And her father announced a quite different future. She will marry Prince Quinn, heir to the throne. Just like that, strong, headstrong Mia is thrust into the whole last role she ever wanted. Pretty, wifely bauble to the future king. Oh my god. So, on the eve of her wedding, Mia plots a daring escape and discovers that imaginal she has magic. She might be a huntress, but she's also a Gavage. When the truth comes to light, Mia must untangle the secrets of her own past. Friends darken to the forest and logic becomes to throw. As if she does do the rules, she is always paid for. If Maya wants to survive, she must learn to trust her heart, even if it kills her. I'm intrigued by the book. The second book is Tears of Frost by Brie Barton. When the moon is weeping, the witches do their reaping. Such a nice sign, I love it. So this here says, Mia Rose is back from the dead. Her memories are hazy, her body is numb, but she won't stop searching. Her only hope is to save the boy she loves, and the sister who destroyed her is to find the mother she can never forgive. Put on a hunt of her own, betrayed and plagued by the painful secret, she's determined to seek out the only person who can accept revenge. All goes according to plan until she collides with Prince Quinn, the boy whose sister she killed. As Mia, Pillar and Quinn forge dangerous new alliances, they are bewitched by the Snow Kingdom's promise of freedom and opportunity. But with the winter slow sister near, they must confront the truth beneath the glimmer and ice, as lines between friends, foe and lovers vanish like snowflakes on a flame. This is the book 2 of the Heart of Thorns trilogy, and is Fierce Out Courage, it claims to take your body of your own. Definitely something you should read. I'm so looking forward to reading this. And then the book that came out this year as well was Salt of Cinder, the third book to it. Only in a house of shadows can darkness come to light. And this is like a bright book between the other ones, you know. This says, Twisted Sisters are coming home. Prince Gwyn has returned to the River Kingdom, ready to spearhead a rebellion to reclaim the throne. He vows to destroy Mia and Pillar and Angeline if they oppose him, even if most of his newfound pages set the world aflame. Across the four kingdoms, elements have been tipped anew. Volcanoes erupt and glaciers collapses, and cities sink into the western sands. After losing Angie, Mia and Pillar journey to the Glass Kingdom to seek help through their fragile bonds of sisterhood began to fray. Mice and sensations are creeping back, and them are deep and seeing grief. Pillars and terrified of being broken and once again seek comfort in her fists. When they hear rumors of a misty island that promises to ease all pain, they suddenly find themselves with an answer if they're willing to pay the cost. As tensions mount, the sisters are drawn back to the River Kingdom for a final reckoning with the boy they each loved. Their shattered conclusion to breed Barton's Heart of Thorns trilogy challenges what we grieve, whom we love, and how to mend a broken heart. So I'm really excited to see how these stories end up and what is going to be happening. Okay, so the next book is Lost in the Netherwoods by Aidan Thomas. This is like a Peter Pan retelling, and I'm so looking forward to see how this book ends. If no one's in it, I am always love to have one of these. When children go missing, people want answers. It's been 5 years since Wendy and her budget brothers vanished into the woods near the small coastal town of Oregon. Wendy returned with no memories of where she has been or what happened to her. Her brothers did not. When the town children start to disappear, the mystery around her brothers is brought back to light, and the police are once again knocking on Wendy's door for answers. Wendy almost runs over a conscious boy lying in the middle of the road. Peter, a boy she thought lived only in her stories, asks Wendy's help for rescuing the missing kids. But in order to find them, Wendy must confront what's waiting for her in the woods. So it's like Lost Neverland, but in the woods kind of thing. And I'm really intrigued to see how this ends up. I love good retellings. If you have not been watching my channel, you know I love retellings, and this is a Peter Pan retelling. Yes, please. Okay, so the next book series is a duology, I believe. And this first book is called The Ink and the Blood by Kim Jamil. One performance can change your destiny. So this is what it looks like. I don't know what I did that. Using magic, the tattoo follows with beautiful image representing the divine's will that will guide the action of the receptants. It's considered a noble calling, but 10 years into their servitude, Celia and Anya know the truth. Professor is built on lies, and the tattooed order stripped away freedom, and the Reverend Temple is actually a brutal, torturous prison. The opportunity to escape arrives with rabble mob, a travelling theatre troupe, using their Inkling abilities to performance instead of propaganda. Celia and Anya are content for the first time, till they realise who followed them. The divine they believe in is very real. Very angry and determined to use Celia, Anya, and the rabble mob's new and famous stage to spread their her deceitful influence even further. Yes. And the second book that came out this year was Curse of the Divine. Yes, it's in hardback, but what can I say? It did come out this year. And this book will go into this together as well. Sorry, I've been feeling a lot today, so I'm like, want to go as quickly as possible. We both know our battle isn't over. Inkling. So, using ink magic to destroy the corrupted reverend of Professor that had tormented her for decades, but winning come at a cost. Now Celia is plagued with guilt over her role in the death of her best friend. When she discovers that Diva is still very much alive and threatening Griffin, the now infamous plague doctor, Celia is in desperate not to lose another person she loves to the deity wrath. The key to destroying Diva may lie with Helicon Ronella, the only person to have faced the affair and survived, but Helicon is dangerous and has secrets of his own. One that involves the ink that Celia has come to hate. Forced to choose between the ink and Tilfiavia, Celia must do whatever it takes to save Griffin, even if it means dealing with the devil himself. Yes, please. So this is another book that I'm really looking forward to, and simple as that, these books are going to fall. Okay, so the next book is Bright and Pale by Jessica Rubin-Kowski. So this was a book we got in the March's book of Fairy Loot, and I did not expect this book to be in there. So this is 17-year-old Valoran is one of the survivors of the freeze. A dark magical hold, not mountain, unleashed on her village. Everyone, including her family, is trapped in an unbreakable sheet of ice. Ever since she's been on the run for the castle, she's determined to imprison everyone who managed to escape. Valerie finds refuge with the Thieves Guild, doing odd jobs with her best friend, Alglike. The only piece of home she has left, that is, until he is brutally murdered. A year later, she discovers that Alglike is alive and been held against his will. To buy his freedom, she must lead a group of cutthroat and thieves or perilous expeditions to the very mountain that claimed her family. Only something sinister slumbers in the heart of Nod, and is waiting for years for release. So this is inspired by Russian folklore. Jessica Rubin-Skorowski epic fantasy debut is the thrilling patient with romance, tragedy, and magic, and the monster that will stay with you to the very end. So this book is definitely intriguing. I love knowing more about folklore, different countries, and this is about Russian folklore. Definitely something you want to read more. Okay, next up we have Sing Me Forgotten by Jessica Olsen. So this is a book we got from Beacon Box, and I did not expect to get this book at all. I've signed author logo in there. So I'm really happy with this one, and like I said, I'm so happy to have all these books all in one. So, cast into a well at birth for being one of the magical few who can manipulate, I can't remember when people sing. She was saved by Cyril, the Opera's house owner, since that day, and he has given her sanctuary for the murderous world outside. All he asks in return is that she use her power to keep her ticket sales high, and she stay out of sight, for if anyone discovers she survived, Esther and Cyril would pay for their lives. I'm not going to read anymore because that's all I want to get into. And the second book that's coming in next was in that book as well, was Called Upon by Bethany Lee. So this is like a little mystery book. So Caitlin, the social para of her high school, is so relieved to have made friends at Camp Overlook and have caught the attention of a real life, honest to goodness boy, that she is willing to look past the camp's anomaly, creepy grey-eyed counselor 24 hours video surveillance. The camp has fallen ill and then disappearing quietly into the night. When Caitlin begins feeling strange symptoms herself, she can no longer pretend that Overlook is one of the mill summer camp. She and her friends must race to solve the mystery of a Camp Overlook, and even facing more difficult truth and uncovering some painful family secrets before she's the next camper to vanish. I am so looking forward to how this book turns out. It's like a small book, but the writings are small, so I'm happy to find out what that's going to be like. Next series we have is this one. We have Into the Crooked Place by Alexandra Christo. So I literally cannot wait to read this one. Says, the realms make monsters of us all. So we have 4 crooks to know how to use magic. Tiavia sells dark charms and potions until she can escape the city. Wesley does whatever it takes to further his criminal empire. Karam makes a deadly name for herself in the fighting rings, and Saxony plots revenge on the people who destroyed her family. Then we come to the second book, which is called City of Spells. The time for heroes is over. As the kingpin's dark magic spreads and his army conquers Seville, Travia, Saxony, and Karam flees across the realms to rebuild the rebellion. Meanwhile, Wesley must fight against the deadly powers that invade his mind and find a way back to his friends before it's too late. With the fate of the world in their hands, these 4 crooks must decide just how far they go and how much they're willing to sacrifice to win. I'm so looking forward to that book. By the same author as well, To Kill a Kingdom. Finally get around to this book. Finally! I've heard so many things, and when I saw that this book was out this year, I was like, oh, I wonder what else this author has. To Kill a Kingdom. Yes, please. So, this is, I have a half every year. I've been live. There have been 17 hidden in the sand from my bedroom. Every so often, I claw through the shingling to check. They're still buried deep and bloody. Princess Lyra is a siren royalty and revered across the sea until she is cursed to humanity by the ruthless Sea Queen. Now Lyra must deliver the heart of the infamous siren killer or remain a human forever. Prince Ian is the head of the most powerful kingdom in the world. A captain to a deadly crew of siren hunters. When he rescues a drowning woman from the ocean, she promises to help him destroy a siren kind for good. But he has no way of knowing whether he can trust her. I love it. It's so amazing. So yes, I've been reading so many books this year, and you can tell how many books I've been reading. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. But and you know that I've been putting books series together, like duologies or trilogies or whatever, how many books I have together into one series in one video, just to make my life a little bit easier, so I can read more books on my days. So that was my July TBR. There's a lot of books to it, but then again, what can I say? I love reading books now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for the next TBR. Well, you guys will actually see the next video of the releases. Just go find out some little more information. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have got our releases and the books that's going to be in the boxes that I get of Beacon and Verilute. So there is actually altogether going to be got a book coming in the July box. This is July's. I always forget what side is what because I'm always like reading ahead. So I don't know. Let's just get into it, shall we? Just get into it. As you saw by my last video, my TBR, you probably can see here that I haven't actually started reading them yet because I just want to die down just a little bit because I've read so many, and in June I will start reading them probably next. No. When you see this, I already start reading them in them already, so don't worry. So the first book that's going to be in our Verilute box is going to be the 6 Crimson Flame Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. I was going to pre-order this book and I was like, no, you know what, I'm just going to wait until another theme comes up. This is our July box, our July book, and I was like, heck yes please. I cannot believe that. That is actually going to be in the box, shall I say. I was like, yes please, thank you. So Beacon box is their July box, something Fae or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, what book is a Fae book? And they are announcing 2 books that's going to be in there. And I was like, ooh, I love when a box has 2 books, because why not? So the first book is going to be These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. Now, I believe that is the main book. But this book I believe is going to be in the August Verilute box, which was, I follow her on Instagram, follow the Eaters of Stories, and they show out the spoilers of the books, and they did the 3 months of Verilute, and their August book seems to be, or 4 months, sorry, their August book was going to be These Hollow Vows. So I was like, oh, okay, so, I might have to email Beacon to let them know that I'll still pay for the full box, but I won't have the main book. Because if this is correct and that book is going to be in the August book box for Verilute, then I will be getting 2 books and I don't know what to do with the other book. So the second book to Beacon is What We Devour by Lindsay Miller. Hello, this book sounds amazing. If you can't tame demons, set them free. What? I did not expect that book to be in the Something Fae book box, but okay. Yes. Then we do have our pre-order, which is Good Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahan. So that is going to be a full series finally. So I've got books that has their second series or something like that, but some of them are not completed yet until I get their book, and then I can put it onto my pile. I'm still waiting for books. So that is one of my pre-order books that I have got. And then to the books of I want to get, so I will have to get soon. The first book is Curses by Lish McBride, and this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So I'm intrigued. And it says on here, Curses is the Beauty and the Beast retelling I've been waiting for. Pretty much. So Merrick Cavan is refused to fulfill her obligations to marry a prince, leading to a very godling curse. She must be forced to live as a beast forever unless she agrees to marry a man for her mother's choosing before her 18th birthday. So it's the other way around. Instead of the prince turning to a beast, it is the woman. Then we have Tevin Demont has always been a pawn in his family's cons. The prettiest boy, a big family. His job is to tempt naked rich girls to abandon their engagements unless their parents agree to pay him off. but after his mother runs afoul of the beast, she decides to trade Tevin for her own freedom. Now Tevin and Merritt has agreed that he can pay off his mother's debt by using his corn artist's skills to help Merritt find the best match. But what if the best match is Tevin himself? That sounds amazing, and I love good Disney retellings. And this is another Beauty and the Beast one, but hell yeah. Okay, so the next book is Cast in the Secrets and Shadows by Andre Robinson. So I believe this is the second book to the series. I'm not quite sure, I can't remember. But the cover looks amazing. The second book in this, actually, yeah, this is the Nightshade series. So, so obviously I haven't read the first book, which is fine, but I can learn it. They're saying it's a Game of Thrones meets Shadow and Bone. So that's going to probably be some steamy scenes. Arya has taken up her mantle as the Lawsmith, but her journey is far from over. After suffering betrayals and losses, Arya, Nimha, Lavja and Teth must try to come together and find the Law Knights across the kingdom. The Law Knights are the only hope in overthrowing the evil Vokans and putting Nimha on the throne for good. But the journey will put Arya and her companions in grave danger, for the endless pursuit of Vokans, the perverse encounters with the gods, and near impossible trials they face along the way. Will they be able to survive long enough to help the rebellion, and through it all with the Vokans expanding their reach throughout Sunsalute? But putting everyone, Aran, sorry, I don't know how to say these names though. I just moved my camera. Lol, I need to stop leaning. My camera's very leaning though. And the friends love at risk. Only Ariane, Archant forge a way way forward, take up her powers, and fight to change the world, and no matter what it costs. That one sounds good as well. And that's admittedly only the 2 books I'm intrigued for July. So there's not many books I have to buy in any way, but I do need to get Jenna's Show Water. I've written down the books that I'm kind of planning to get for this year now, because I thought I had it all in and decided to do series instead, which I do. I have added the Percy Jackson series by Rick Warden, and that's in the series as well, but we'll see what comes. Oh, and I believe Namesake should be alright. No, that should be in August or something. I don't know, but Namesake, I've got. So basically, God of Monsters has been pre-ordered. Namesake, these Violet Ends have just been pre-ordered by Fairloot. I should be getting the second book to Cloak Shadows, so I should be able to read that soon. But I am still waiting for some other June books, but they have not arrived yet, so fingers crossed I get them soon. The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni, she seems to have a second book coming out this year in September. So I don't know if Fairloot's going to be doing the second book to it, but I hope so. Melissa de la Cruz has got, sorry, I said that really cool, like, she's got a second book to the 13th Crown. The Frozen Cat Crown by Greta Kelly, she has also a second book coming out this year. I don't know anything about the second book to Set Fire to the Gods. So the book is out, but I'm not sure if, well, actually I don't think they will be doing that, so I might have to pre-order the book soon. Kingdom of the Curse is not ready just yet, but they'll be soon. The Bone Shard Emperor, the second book to the Bone Shard Daughter, I'm still waiting on that book to probably be announced by Lumicrate, but probably not. Then I've got obviously some other books that I'm waiting for the second book to come out. There's a lot of books that I want to get and trying to get, because I have like a big pile of books that needs to go into my list. And I will be slowly reading my July TBR soon. Anyway, so by the time you watch this, I probably read half of them. Yeah. I decided to read a lot now. A lot more than I think than I would do. Which I'm quite proud of myself, to be honest. Didn't think I'll read that many, but I have. But anyway, that was the July TBR and Releases. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys next time for August. TBR and Releases, when we find out what their themes are and what I finally figure out for my TBR. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.